All right, this piece of clay here is a little bit too big for these dies I have here, but I'll work it down. It'll start making some cold shuts on the side. It's got a lot of cold shuts in it. It's not really incorporated clay, but this will help to incorporate it. I'll just start right here where the true dimension is, and I'll show you what's going to happen to the right here. See, it's too large for that, so I'm still going to use it. So I'm going to forge hexagonally here, and I'll go on up. See, it made a cold shut right there, but I'll be able to work that out once it gets where it's contained in the dies. I'm going half on, half off over the far edge here, and you know it's working. And you see this definitely on the end where it's not incorporated. That's a bad cold shut. Now I can take care of that on these dies here also by hitting back in here, and look, see how much of a cold shut that is? That's a pretty deep, you know, it's just not incorporated. This is like a brand new piece of clay that's been getting dirty and dusty, whatever, in a can I had. But I'm just going back in it. And it is flaring a little bit on the end, of course, but it helps to contain this material. You know, I'm going to go ahead and hit, I can hit in the die. It's a small, you know, the big area, the big flare is, you know, and here's that cold shut that continues, you know. But yeah, you have to work it down a lot, and yeah, cold shuts do not respond just like it's a loose piece of material. It's not metal. I almost said metal, but it's similar to what would happen with metal, you know. And yeah, the end, there's no pressure coming down right there. The only pressure I'm giving it is back in here, and you know that's not a lot. But you can incorporate weld. You know, it's like welding metal that doesn't line up. It just kind of gives, and you won't be able to weld it. You know. So anyway, it's kind of hard to explain. I'm going to go ahead and go to the near side here, half on, half off. And you know, as it comes around, you'll see where it's too large for the die. This is not too large, but it will be up in here, and it'll start to smash it over. And this clay is getting softer, you know, because you're working it just like metal does. Every hammer blow will heat up metal, and that same thing's happening to this. It doesn't get hot, of course, because it's clay, but it does get a lot softer. Now I could put, it's starting to get sticky also. I could put it in water, and that would make it not so sticky. Yeah, see, it's really getting sticky in here now where I've worked it more. But these equilateral V dies can put your really bad clay back together, even in cold weather, better than you could with open dies. because it's getting equal pressure all three sides, and you're actually able to, weld together just like you can weld wrought iron and just separate pieces of metal a lot easier in these because of that equal pressure. And you can forge with them. I'm going to go ahead and get my water bucket and put it over here by me. Okay, so I put it in water. It won't be as sticky. I'm going to go ahead and where my forging started and stopped here, I'm going to put that right here. And I'll show you like making a tenon here. Now I can start in here, but I want to not go any further than there. But here's a half on, half off with a round surface. And then as you get close to this, just put it on the anvil. I do use, when you got a lot of work, use the round surface. But as it gets closer, you'll, I'll go back here. You'll actually use the flat surface, so your edge of your hammer gets right there at the base. And yes, I use these for making tenons, also balls, mushroom and ball starts. And you don't want to hit in the middle of the die when you're trying to move. You can do it when you're wanting to stop somewhere and not go too far, which that's another thing. These don't allow you to go too far too fast. But this is a little over 1.5 inches round clay, and about the max of going in here would be about 1.5 inches, maybe just a little bit under, where you don't get that side business going on here. And I didn't go all the way up to that. I could have, but I did not. But this right here, I'll start to go on the far side now, half on, half off, and just put that in there. And you just keep bringing lumps on, and you can hold it straight when it's like this. If you're finishing the bar, you want to be more aggressive, of course, and it's larger material. You would hold it here, and tilt it. But I'm gonna it's getting floppy and long, but yeah, this is gonna get quite longer, of course. Also, what I do when it starts to get real close, see where you start to hit your hammer or your anvil here. Instead of continuing here, I would go over to here on the next step down, and yeah, I tilt it. These aren't relieved as much. It's getting soft and twisty again. That's one thing. It will definitely act a lot different than hitting open dies on your anvil. I'm going to use the flat here and coming back this way. But you see, I went with my round hammer. I went a little bit further because of the curve of the round in here than what you see here, because it won't stop. I mean, it stops right here, and it's not going to hit that curve. So, depends on what you're doing. You want to finish, finish in here, holding straight, and you switch to your flats and just do the minor work there. But I've got other sizes here to step into, also in smaller over here. Yeah, this is amazing. I'm going to take a piece of titanium, and I videoed this the other day, but it didn't take my video. I don't know what was going on. But you know, this is just going on the near side. And yeah, if I want to make a tenon here, so say I want to stop there, you know, get on right here. And see how it makes a nice, you know, start to a tenon. Then I would go, these are dirty, I'd go over to another one, and yeah, I'd work that down. I'm not going to, this will get too floppy. Let me show you something. I'll pinch that off. I could cut it with a Hardy, but cut the center is always best. Don't have any fingernails, but anyway, I'll put that aside. That's a little bit more than I'd use for a tenon of this proportion, but the same thing here. Get this side down, you know. It's floppy. You need to get it cooled off, and then switch to the flat. You know, right here on the edge and edge. Oh, I haven't even shown getting round, but round is just a matter of, you know, hitting the points. It's a tenon. The diagonals. And then, you know, little, and you got your round tenon. And I've got other tools for, you know, setting that shoulder down. I definitely don't use butchers to make tenons. I have, after I saw it. Of course, I was making tenons before that. But butchers, usually people go too far too fast, and they butcher the original material, and so it's like this, and so there's a lot of work out on the end to do, and it pushes it back into your parent stock, and that causes a crack right there at the base of the tenon, making it the weakest point, which should be the strongest point of the tenon. So yeah, I do tenons differently than I've seen other people do them. But I'll get into that when I start making tenons and things. But yeah, this really makes for working your material down to whatever you know, dimensions and stuff. Like I say, I'm going to take this piece of titanium, and I did take it the other day, and I took a video. It was a little bit larger than this. It started out square stock, but I made it round, and then I took it to these dies, and you can see here is where I was stopping on this. But I'm going to take it all down. This will be an ultimate tong. I should be able to get probably three more pairs of tongs. I already made the hammer tongs out of a little bit of the end here. But I'm going to work this down to this dimension here for where my boss area will be. And then, of course, the reins and the other parts will be tapered from there. But I'm going to take this, and I'll use these dies. I'll video that, and I'll show you. But yeah, I wish I would have got the video of this, what I was doing here. And I wasn't aware, so once I checked it, I'd already got this far on it. So that's unfortunate. But anyway, another time.